We all know Northeast Florida is an amazing place to live, but let's be honest, most of us aren't that familiar with all the unique communities the region has to offer. Well, that's about to change. We're Brady and Alyssa Hammond, and our family is one of the top producing teams in the area when it comes to selling real estate. Join us as we dive into one of the hottest markets in the country and tour the premier communities, amenities, and properties that make Northeast Florida such a desired destination. Today on Property Tours, we're exploring Ponte Vedra Beach. Ponte Vedra Beach is located about 25 miles to the southeast of Jacksonville. Despite beachside communities both to the north and south, this area remained largely uninhabited for most of its history. This changed quickly in the 1910s when it was discovered the area's beaches were filled with valuable minerals, and thus newfound mining operations were established. Growth then came rapidly and the area became known as Mineral City. After World War II, the demand for minerals depleted significantly and the area shifted focus to its natural beauty and became primarily a resort community. With this shift, the decision was made to change the name from Mineral City to Ponte Vedra Beach, which is now known as one of the most luxurious destinations in all of Florida. Some of Ponte Vedra Beach's main attractions include its prestigious beach clubs, the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, and its beautiful golf courses, including the famous TPC at Sawgrass, which hosts the PGA's annual Players Championship and is home to the famous 17th Island Green. To give an insider perspective as to what it's like to live in Ponte Vedra Beach, we're going to be meeting two local couples who have graciously invited us into their homes. The Backuses, who renovated a beautiful floor plan in a popular golfing community known as Marsh Landing, and the Saltmans, who live in a stunning pool home along the Intracoastal Waterway. Now it's time to take an in-depth look at life in Ponte Vedra Beach on Property Tours of Northeast Florida.
We're here at the Marsh Landing Country Club about to meet with the Backus family.
Now the Backus' home and Marsh Landing Country Club have gone through lots of renovations. You're into renovations, aren't you?
We've done a few.
What has been our toughest renovation to date?
Definitely you.
Marsh Landing is one of Ponte Vedra Beach's most popular gated golfing communities and is known for its impressive executive-level homes and the Marsh Landing Country Club, which provides its members an Arnold Palmer Company-designed course, swimming pool, tennis courts, fitness center, and a recently renovated dining hall. The community itself includes over 1,000 homes ranging in size from just over 2,000 square feet to over 10,000 square feet. Two beautiful parks and gorgeous views of the marsh, ponds, and old Florida trees throughout. The Backuses purchased this 3,600 square foot home in 2023. The property has been well maintained since being built in 1995 and includes an open floor plan, screened-in pool, and relaxing views of one of the many community ponds. The Backuses have also completed many recent renovations to the property, making it the perfect home to feature as Marsh Landing Country Club itself also undergoes its own exciting renovations. Aaron and Christy, thanks so much for having us at your beautiful home today.
You're welcome.
Last name is Bacchus. I believe that's a Greek god. Am I right?
It is a Greek god, Brady. I'm glad you mentioned it because it's been a burden on my shoulders for a long time.
Well, you had some godly-like aspects, so that's stuff I think we all want to strive for.
Exactly.
But you know, godliness aside, tell us a little bit about what brought you in here to Marsh Landing.
Well, we actually lived in this area in some condos, apartments when we first got married back in the 90s. And so it was really something that we wanted to eventually circle back and be closer to the beach. The beach is a big part of our life. We love to be there for walking, reading. Our youngest son surfs. So that was a big draw, was to be up closer this way. And I think also just the proximity to so many other things. We can jump on JTB and get to the St. John's Town Center for shopping. Location is just so wonderful and just a really fun place to be a family.
Yeah. We started here and, you know, hopefully we'll end here not too soon, but.
Tell us about the country club at Marsh Landing. I know they're going through some renovations right now.
We're so happy with what they've been doing. They've completely, I think, redone the golf course. It's spectacular. Clubhouse doing lots of renovations on the inside. I think they're going to move to the outside. So it's an iconic spot. So I'm glad that they're doing that stuff.
So are you more of a golfer, tennis player, or are you a competitive swimmer?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. I just got back into swimming, and it's probably one of the ugliest things you've ever seen. But it's just for exercise. But me personally, I've golfed ever since I was small. Don't golf as much lately, just trying to work and do kids and all of that other stuff. And Christy, what are you into? You're more into walking and things along those lines, aren't you?
Yeah, and this neighborhood's so nice for that.
Yeah.
We've got the sidewalks that we can get all around and see just beautiful views everywhere we're at.
Yeah.
But you're being bashful. You are an avid golfer, and our oldest son also plays a lot of golf. So again, another big draw to this area.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the walking too, because I mean the scenery is spectacular. I mean we're in one section, but you know you walk across a bridge, you're right on the intercoastal. There is, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 marinas over there. I mean it's spectacular to walk through.
Well, I know all of my contacts in Marsh Landing just absolutely love it for a lot of the same reasons you guys mentioned. A lot of family-friendly neighbors, family-friendly activities, and then just the beauty and diversity around here. It's no surprise you guys have had such a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I've had to wake up early for different practices and things like that, and it's not uncommon to see deer running around all over the place, so that's kind of cool.
My dad would enjoy that. My dad, I've always been, let's get some deer head featured in the home, but she seems to be against it for some reason.
I think his father owns like 50 deer heads. That's
Oh,
not
wow.
even a joke. There was one in his house when we first got married, and it is not there anymore.
I think that happens to quite a few married couples.
So what caused you guys to choose this particular home in Marsh Landing?
Well, when we first walked in the door, I was just drawn immediately to what's behind me. The escaping view there of the marsh is just beautiful. It's such an old Florida type of a feel, very peaceful. When we walked out to the back pool area there, you could just feel the breeze coming through. Birds are out there all of the time. I'm not a big bird person, but it's been really fun to watch families of ducks and other different types of Florida types of birds that are always out there. So really that's what drew me. Just had such a warm, open type of a feel when we walked in.
Yeah, and the bedroom situation works perfectly for our family. We have 2 older kids, both in college, that are out, and then we have one 9th grader that's still here, and he has the the presidential suite up there, so we don't have to see his mess, and he can go up there and do his thing. So that's real nice.
Now, your 9th grade son, I think me and him would get along. I mean, he got the nice basketball court out front,
Yep.
and I believe he's got a pretty nice basketball shoe collection. If
He
I'm
is an avid shoe collector, barterer, seller, buyer, all of the above.
I think he has a pretty nice Jordan. Do you think I could maybe trade him
Okay.
some nice dress shoes?
You could. You got to strap him up, get him going again.
If
right?
not, just let him know what you want and he'll find it for you.
And he plays ball locally here.
He
in the area,
does.
doesn't
He does. He goes to Episcopal. He started there this year and got a great group over there of kids and coaches. It's been phenomenal.
I used to coach high school basketball myself, and my daughter just started her first ever season, so that's been thrilling for me to get to experience that.
It's all over the news. She made her first basket.
I know. I'm good at promoting that story.
Well, so it's nice that your son has the loft to himself, and I really love the layout of this home. How you've got, your guest suite over here, your master suite, and then there's just like also 2 other bedrooms. There's just like so much space that's almost like unexpected, I think. So tell us about like some of the renovations you've done, because I know it looked a lot different before you moved in.
And one of the biggest things that we did was out in the front. This house was built in the 90s, and so it had some beautiful kinds of trees and landscaping, but needed a little bit of some cleaning up and cleaning out. So we had a chance to do some of that and basically left all of the good oak trees and such that were there, but then added in some fresh things in the beds. We were able to do the paver driveway. And then put in the basketball hoop for the kiddo that plays that. And then interior, we had a lot of fun updating kitchens and bathrooms and floors. And we were really fortunate too that we were able to do quite a bit of that work right before moving in, so that then when we got to come in, we could start doing some of that decor and such.
You've got some just amazing cabinets that are super tall. I'm sure you got to call on the godliness of Aaron to float to the top.
Well, funny enough, those house the Christmas dishes and dishes when you first married that rarely ever get used. But it's important to drag those around for 25 years.
But it is really nice just to be able to take a peek at that kitchen that's got the cabinetry, the backsplash, the counters. It was a lot of fun renovating that.
We got lucky. We have really good people to work with. We had a designer, a contractor. The outside was done by a company we've worked with for years. So we really had the expertise just to come in and take on the job. And it wasn't anything like we're like breaking down walls it was just kind of, the bones were really great. That's what we liked about it. It's like you see all those shows, Brady, you know how that works. It's like you walk in there, I don't like the paint, I don't like that. It's like, it's okay, just change it.
Yeah, the cosmetic things, not quite as, those are more fun than the behind the scenes, big ticket items. So. Well, Erin, Christy, thanks again for having us. It's been a pleasure getting to visit with you and see this home. I mean, it's just beautiful. And like you said, it's hard when I'm talking. I keep looking out because there's a different bird that flies behind you every time. But really, thanks for having us today.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. Glad you could come.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Now let's take a quick look at the real estate market in Marsh Landing Country Club. Single-family homes within Marsh Landing sold for an average of $1.88 million over the past year, which is actually down about 9% from the previous year when the average was $2.07 million, but up over 106% from a decade ago when the average was $911,000. Prices for homes in Marsh Landing averaged almost 30% more than homes in other gated golf communities in Ponte Vedra Beach. However, they did appreciate at a lesser rate over the past decade. Currently, there are 20 Marsh Landing homes for sale ranging in price from $925,000 up to as high as $3.2 million. For updated information on these specific listings or on Ponte Vedra Beach's market trends, check out our website, HammondFamilyGroup.com. When we come back on Property Tours, we'll visit with the Saltman family, who live in a gorgeous property along the Intracoastal Waterway.
How does a modern technology platform paired with expert advice really bring a robust, comprehensive, coordinated financial plan to clients?
The technology allows you to reduce the time that financial advisor is spending on back office so that they can spend that time face-to-face with their client and they get a better technology experience.
Darrell Hogan Law is a collection of lawyers that help people solve problems in areas of life they're not able to solve them themselves.
We are not individuals, we are purely a team.
Anything from, say, asbestos, lung cancer cases, auto accidents, trucking accidents, bike accidents, A to Z. We have the resources to win your case and win it to such a degree that you're going to be very happy with the results.
Are you looking for the fastest, most reliable home financing? Welcome to First Coast Mortgage Funding. Our dedicated loan officers work tirelessly to secure the best deals, ensuring you move quickly into your dream home. Behind every swift closing, our expert team of processors accelerates your journey from application to approval. We offer exclusive financing incentives when buying your next home. Visit our website or give us a call to learn more. First Coast Mortgage Funding, where your homeownership dreams take flight.
We're here in Ponte Vedra Beach on the Intracoastal Waterway, about to meet with the Saltman family.
You know, one thing I love about their house is they've got this awesome dock right on the Intracoastal. If we got a dock like that, what do you think I would do?
Get a jet ski.
You're right. Jet skis are awesome. They're like the motorcycles of the sea, ultimate freedom. They're just a blast. Though, you know, I almost died on a jet ski one time. Did you know that?
Yes.
You want to hear the story?
No.
Well, here's what happened. Basically, big boat, huge wake, went off said wake, way up in the air, thought I was going to die, but I'm still here. Can you believe it?
Yes.
Well, good, because it happened. Now let's get to the interview. The Intracoastal Waterway is a 3,000-mile-long river-like water route running down the Atlantic coast. Known for its navigability, man-made canals, natural inlets, and bays, the Intracoastal Waterway serves an important purpose as it allows water vessels access to the ocean without having to endure the hazards of the open sea. Locally, Roscoe Boulevard, which runs along the Intracoastal in Ponte Vedra Beach, is well known for its luxury waterfront estates, lavish private boat docks, and exciting restaurants such as Palm Valley Fish Camp, Valley Smoke Barbecue, and more. The Saltmans have owned this 4,900 square foot estate since 2018. This property features a 3/4 acre waterfront lot that includes a double-decker boat dock, saltwater pool, and an extended paver driveway leading to a spacious 6-car garage. The home itself includes several unique rooms, such as a large recreation space, movie room, and wine cellar to go along with a beautiful open floor plan. David and Robin, thanks so much for having us in your beautiful house here today.
Welcome.
So tell us a little about your background and what brought you guys to Northeast Florida.
Well, I was a lawyer in Central Jersey and a judge, and I did that for 32 years. And we'd always planned to move to Florida. And my oldest daughter, the one that's hanging around, decided she was going to move to Florida with her then boyfriend and potentially get married. And we decided it's time to go.
When we were thinking of moving, we came down here to this Ponte Vedra Beach area, and we just thought this is just such a nice family area. So we ended up building, took about 2 years, we built a beautiful house on the ocean and moved down here.
So what led you to this house in this area on the Intracoastal here?
As time wore on, we joined the club, we were playing golf and tennis, and everything was basically down here. And then when we started out, when we moved here, we had 2 grandchildren, which then led to 12 grandchildren, and they all were living in the Ponte Vedra Beach area. So even though it was only 20 minutes away, it became a drive, but we still loved the water. And then when we came upon this house, we walked in and it was just felt like home again. Our dog liked it so much better than having to live at the beach. She didn't like the ocean that much, so here was perfect.
You moved for the dog.
Basically, 100%.
You guys have a very unique perspective because you've had the experience of living on the ocean and now also the Intracoastal.
Right.
How do the two compare?
Well, she likes the Intracoastal. I still like the ocean. I like to get away from everybody, but the ocean eats at whatever you have. So if you have a light outside, the ocean eats away at it, so it's gone in 3 years, as opposed to 7 or 8 or 9 at here. We put in stuff here, which is still going, which it never would have been going on the ocean.
Yeah, so let's talk about your view. So you've obviously got this amazing pool and the Intracoastal, and you said you have boats going by.
And as you'll notice, we do not have a boat.
You have a dock but no boat.
And we actually redid the whole dock when we moved in because it had been damaged. And to much of the dismay of all our grandchildren, we do not have, and children don't have a boat. We're not boaters, but we can fish off of it. And the view, it was just wonderful. And we always said maybe someday we get a boat, but now we're here 5 years, we're not.
This is good. Maybe a jet ski?
That's been proposed also.
One of them even offered to buy the boat.
Oh, they all say, we'll buy boats if we can keep it. And they go, no, you'll be here more. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have quite the guest spaces, though. You have many, many rooms upstairs, so start telling me about your...
And I love how you themed them, too. I mean, one of those rooms, I feel like I'm at Animal Kingdom Lodge at Disney.
I don't think I did it on purpose. It just sort of evolved.
Just happened.
The color of this room was totally the color of the room at our beach house. The furniture upstairs and everything fit in perfectly.
Well, one thing I really like about the house, and I'm sure Alyssa can agree, is the height of the ceilings.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really stands out in the master bedroom. The master bedroom and
Yes.
the closets and the bathrooms, I mean, it's just amazing in there.
Not to mention the view and the access right out here.
Our other house was on the beach and had 3 levels, obviously for the views. And we had made our master bedroom on the top level. So basically you had to walk 3
a lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs to get up and down. You
Had an elevator.
We did, but it was just I just always wanted to be able to walk out of my bedroom, and we had a pool, but we just had to access it differently. So when this was one of the things when we came here, The master bedroom next to the kitchen, next to the pool. It was like perfect.
And that closet has quite a lot of space.
It's amazing how we can fill up too.
Yeah, our first house was in a 1962 house, and 1962 the closets were pretty small, so she got
They didn't
the
have as many
primary
clothes
closet.
back
I
then.
got to have my stuff in the secondary closet. We don't have that problem now, but you guys clearly aren't having that issue here.
No, we don't.
Another room I really like is that office, and there was one part of the office that stood out to us was the map you guys have showing all of your travels. I mean, you guys have been to some places that, like, man, I don't know, it's like Carmen San Diego would have trouble keeping up with you guys.
Most of the
Unreal.
places we've been together, a few of the places, I'll say maybe 10 or 12, I've been to with my nephew, who is a world traveler and makes a living traveling the world and writing about it and that kind of thing.
We just recently got back from the North Pole. It was an amazing experience. It was a lot of
I
travel.
remember only about 1,000 people a year go to the North Pole, so it's not like going to Paris,
Right.
where you get 10,000 a day.
Do they have good restaurants at the North Pole?
A lot.
Are they run by Santa and the elves, maybe?
You guys are the only people I've met that have been to both the North and the South.
Done 2 weeks in the Antarctica with the penguins and everything, and it was like the most amazing trip.
The only place we haven't gone to extensively is Eastern Europe. Otherwise, we've gone to, places like Paris. We've been there half a dozen to a dozen times.
Well, there's a lot of pins on that map. That's all I
There's a lot of pins on the
saw.
map. We have a little map with pins wherever we went, so.
So speaking of the upstairs, there's also the media room and the bonus room, which I assume are big hits with the grandkids.
Yes, and big hits with the grandparents, because they can
Yes.
go up there. Wow.
I have never seen a ping pong machine where you can actually practice your ping pong skills. So
I don't know what to tell you, other than I've been using a machine for, 25 years.
Wow.
And I was always...
And he still can beat all the grandkids, too.
I can still beat all the grandkids.
Even the 3-year-olds.
And all the kids, although Jason's pretty good sometimes.
Maybe
So
he could
I've-
actually beat my dad.
her dad is very good at ping pong. I think I've beaten him once in my life, and it gets pretty intense at the
Well,
family
bring him
ping
over
pong
and
tournaments.
we'll-
I think
Yeah,
we
we'll
might
see what's
need
gonna
to.
go
He's
on
coming
here.
down here soon. We're gonna have a matchup and have an
He's
epic
pretty
battle.
competitive.
So we haven't talked about the kitchen or the living room, which are enormous, lots of space.
I didn't really have to do too much of the kitchen, just things that made it particular to my liking. My backsplash, I remember when we went to pick it out, the decorator there said, "You sure you want that for your backsplash?" I go, "Yeah."
Yeah, no, I like that you have a lot of color and flair in this house. It gives it a lot of character.
You can see. We have a lot of color in it.
Color and flair, and the flair. You're never going to be short on storage space with that wine room you have. I mean, that cool.
That
wow.
is the largest refrigerator I've ever seen in a residential
I
property.
think it could fit the amount of food that she buys for our family. Might be able to do one grocery trip a month rather than once a day.
Yeah, we could have like one fridge, one giant fridge
Nice.
room.
So that must be real nice having that in the house.
And the funny thing is we don't really drink much wine at all, so it was a real waste when people came to the house. They go, "Oh God, the Saltmans have a wine room." But when you entertain, it's good to put our things. It's a great room, and the kids, the little ones, go in there to cool off when it's a hot day. So
That's definitely a good use in
we
Florida.
get good use of the room.
Well, David and Robin, we just thank you guys again so much for having us. This home is a dream. I tell her all the time, if I could just pick my perfect home, I'd love to get a home where I could get a dock with some jet skis, and you guys have, this place is just
Are you
amazing.
trying now to?
You know what? We're happy to trade. If you want to trade, we will. But again, we really appreciate you coming on today.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Well, now let's take a quick look at the real estate market for intercoastal homes in Ponte Vedra Beach. Intracoastal homes within Ponte Vedra Beach sold for an average of $2.84 million over the past year, which is down 9% from the previous year when the average was $3.12 million, but up over 158% from a decade ago when the average was $1.1 million. Prices for intracoastal homes averaged about 65% more than other homes within Ponte Vedra Beach, but did appreciate at a slightly lesser rate over this past decade. Currently, there are 9 intracoastal homes for sale within Ponte Vedra Beach, ranging in price from $2.55 million up to as high as $7.75 million. For updated information on these specific listings or on Ponte Vedra Beach's market trends, check out our website, HammondFamilyGroup.com. Thanks for exploring Ponte Vedra Beach with us today. Be sure to tune in next week when we explore 2 more exciting properties, this time in the area between downtown and the beach known as Intracoastal West. You can also rewatch this episode along with those previously aired on our website, HammondFamilyGroup.com.